Hello and thank you for selecting this outstanding turntable. I would like to start out by pointing out some of the unboxing considerations that we recommend. You will please refer also to the digital or printed manual that you will have received from your distributor. It's important to follow these guidelines to assist you in the best handling and setup of the turntable. You will see when you unbox that you have a heavy 11-pound solid aluminum platter. Balanced, by the way. This can be a little bit slippery. If your hands are not quite dry, you can use the grooves on the sides to help handle it properly. I recommend using different packing materials just as a surface to lay it on. Also important when you're unboxing is to note that you have two spiked footers. These inverted cones are quite sharp, strong points, and it's important to have a good protector on your work surface if it is prone or susceptible to easy scratching. Right now I'm just working on a pad here for setup. In the final resting installation, you should have a very dense surface, ideally something extremely dense like granite. If it's wood, then you would want to use some protectors, and it could be something as simple as a couple of coins. Dimes, for example, have color matching, plus they're thin and they do not interfere much with your leveling, the height adjustment that you will do on the cones. All right, you'll find different parts, sections inside of your box. The digital scale has the batteries in the packaging in a white box. I've already installed them. You also have a weight to ensure calibration. If calibration is not spot on at 5 grams, you have a little instructional page so that you can calibrate your digital scale. That will be very important when we get to the vertical tracking force. You have different parts here. Most will be in separate plastic bags. Important to note that your spindle will be lightly oiled. So, just care and handling, you might want to have a napkin or a paper towel on hand. If there's a little bit of oil, no big deal, just absorb it, dry it off. Just normal, like any machinery or tools that should be lubricated. Also included is a small ceramic ball bearing. That goes inside your spindle assembly. The spindle has a shorter, smaller diameter section. That is, of course, where the LP will slide onto. So it's the larger, greater diameter section that just slides right in. Okay? And when you place your platter, again, since it can be a little bit slippery depending, please just use the grooves on the sides to get a good positive grip. Place it over the spindle and slowly let it slide down so it doesn't fall with a big thump that could have cracked the ball bearing, since it's ceramic, which provides for very, very low resistance. So it is preferable, just requires a little bit more care in bringing down the platter. Now, when setting up also, you will see that you have a few different tools that you could use depending on whether your cartridge is purchased in a combo, pre-installed or not. If it is pre-installed, there should be already calibration settings from the factory or from the distributor, such as the height for your VTA. I'll show you that using our custom protractor that's included. Show you how that's done. And just to, again, a very few basic tools that might be needed, from a normal set of Allen head screwdrivers. Here, just a flathead and a Phillips. Okay, I had already removed this piece, but this will come from the factory under the cylinder. Fits right in like that, and that section here, all you have to do is pop it off just with a firm pull, and that's that. As you've noticed, I have my cartridge already in place. If it comes pre-installed, that's how you will find it. If not, this tone arm lift will also be in one of the little plastic bags. These screws normally come with your cartridge because they fit the cartridge itself, so they just go through the head shell, and the correct setting is something we'll discuss when using the Protractor. If it's already installed, fine. If it has not been installed yet, then it is a good practice to first put in your counterweight, because this will be a protection so that it does not fall easily at the front with the weight of the cartridge onto the needle. I have already marked it here because of my previous setting, but normally will not have any marking on it. So you just want to kind of center it. It is eccentric, meaning the orifice is not dead center, but off to the side. I'll show you why for your azimuth settings in this next, in a different segment of the tutorial. Very well, so if you can look from above a little bit, when you insert the counterweight, you will push it in, firmly holding onto the tone arm, just resting right here against this stop, and with a slight twisting motion. It is an eccentric, meaning that the orifice is off center. So just try and keep it in a central position, meaning equal weight on both sides of the counterweight. As you saw, it slid right in with a soft twisting and firm forward pushing motion. Then you pull it back some, because that's about where you're going to have it when you actually set the tracking force. I'll show you about that separately. Now it's in place. Now we can remove the tie because you're pretty balanced front to back. Also important, and you'll get that more precise adjustment when you're setting the azimuth, is that this has to be free floating on that side, free floating on that side. You see how it's not moving when I tap it? That means there's too much pressure on this side. So we turn to push the arm in that manner. You see? There you go. That free floating movement is what you're looking for. Very well.